Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? New video today. I had done a painting for my daughter a while ago, a few years ago actually, on a big humongous canvas. I was sitting and I was stuck, um, not financially, what word do I want to use? I was stuck inspirationally. Inspired, I wasn't inspired. And I had this big canvas, and this was quite a few years ago, and I used to be very intimidated by a white canvas, and still sometimes now I will get intimidated by a white canvas. Like if I put up, my easel and put a canvas on it and go to start painting it. If I have like a different idea in my head rather than just doing like a mixed media background or something. Because mixed media has changed the way I look at things, because you can just sit down and play, and then it kind of leads you to the next thing of what you're going to do on it. Anyway, before I babble on, this was something that I did, and I thought, well, Halloween's coming, and not that this is going to be a scary thing or anything like that, but I thought to kind of give you guys an idea. A lot of you write me and say that sometimes, and I'm doing an art journal today, but sometimes you even get stuck and uninspired, and you don't know where to start or what to do. And honestly, this week, and I don't even know what day it is today, Wednesday, I think, or yeah, Wednesday. And it's been one hell of a week already. And I am very, how do you say, uninspired, but I need to create. I haven't been able to create the past few days, and it's like eating at me. It's like, I don't know if you guys go through this or not, but it like bothers me. It like eats at me terribly, because I love to create. And even if it's like something mindless, and I'm gonna put up, or I have put up probably at this point, my crooked-eyed Day of the Dead Skull, where I sat and just colored with markers, and which was another day. I just had a few, quite a few days of like just blah, but I needed to create. So, I want to have you guys along in the process of everything that I do, to show that everybody gets like that, and everybody feels like I am untalented, or I just, what am I doing? And I should just throw all my stuff away. And that's how I've been feeling lately. And it's just because of other things going on in life. So, I thought today, that's it. I've went many days without doing anything, and I'm done, and I'm going to do something. And I'm like, well, what can I do that, is kind of, it makes me feel good, and makes me feel like I did something, and can show you guys how to do something, and get out of your funk if you're in a funk, or even get you just to sit and play. If you have 15, 20 minutes and you just want to sit and play and have a bit of fun, and create something kind of cool. So I'm done blabbing and talking, and like I said, if I continue talking, I might start crying, and then it turns into a whole other video. So we're not going to do that today. Okay, so here's what I did. I just put white. I'm in my art journal that I do my little moleskin that I love. I have about 30 art journals. Some are I've made, and some are bought. This happens to be a bought one that I got when I get my Barnes & Noble coupons. Sign up for Barnes & Noble if you have one near you. Or you can get these on Amazon, but Barnes & Noble have, oh, yeah. Oh, okay, wait. Let me finish one thought. Barnes & Noble, I get in my emails coupons from them, where you'll get like 30% off an item or whatever they're having. And then plus, like, we're a member, because we're like reading freaks. And like every other month I go out for all my magazines, and like I spend way more than I should, because all my magazines usually come the same month, because they're like bi-monthly or every other month or whatever that's called. And then we get like the additional 10% off, and then we get we're like just book freaks. So they will have like a 30% off coupon or whatever. So I would go and buy a moleskin journal. So I have probably 4 of these now. Now, what I was excited about was, we were in oh dear, it was either Michael's or AC Moore. Crud. It was, and it's white, and it's going to be going crazy here for a minute. We were in Michael's or AC Moore, and they had moleskin journals in there, moleskin things, and they had like different kinds. They have like the sketch one. They have I don't know. Is this the mixed media one? I don't even know where to look. This has to be like a. How do I even know? I love that it says, in case of loss, please return to and as a reward. Like if somebody opened this, they'd be like, "What the heck? Who would want this back?" But I don't. There are different kinds. This has to be some sort of like watercolor or something. One. So anyway. So they have them at AC Moore or Michael's. So look, and they were up by the register, like in this like thing, like kind of where the magazines were like at. So you can also use your coupon there, because I'm always like, if you can use a coupon, use a coupon. And if you really want a moleskin. Otherwise, if you guys are interested or you don't know how, or you want to know how or whatever, I have several ways of the way I make an art journal. That's, you know, kind of, you can make, you know, several different sizes within the journal or whatever. So if you're interested, just let me know and I'll make one. Also, my friend Annie, which I'll put the link down in the information. I'm so I can't even think today. I'm sorry. I'll put down the information. I'll put the links. She has several videos that show you how to do like wicked good video journals where you like do the sewing. I don't even know the names of them, where you sew in and do all fancy kind of things. You put holes in it, and she does this stuff, and I think she has 2 or 3 of them. I don't know how many she's done, which are really wicked cool. And if I had the patience at this point, I would try, and I'm going to eventually sit down and try to make one, following her directions, because they're really cool and easy, and she does it. And I'm a visual learner. I can read something over 20 times and not get it, but see somebody do it, and I'm cool. So I'll put that down there too if you want to do like a very like professional kind of journal. My journals that I make, I'm not going to say are absolutely professional, because they're mine and I make them my own way. And you know, for me to play in them, you know, it's what I love. It's just to get my things out of my head, whether it's good, bad, the ugly, practicing ideas, whatever. So I'm done boring you with my boring talk with my nasal sound today, because whatever. But okay, so here we go. Yay. Okay, I picked 2 colors today that I'm going to do. Now, as you can see here, I have, and this can be, and this is kind of flimsy. It's wet, a little damp still, but plus I'm downstairs in the my downstairs. I have like one of those split level houses, so I'm downstairs. It's a little damp down here. However, and I don't have the heater on today, so my little dog isn't down here who's sick. Because if I turned the heater on, he would be like, he's already came down and like laid and looked at me, and it broke my heart. But I'm just like really miserable today, and I figured, let me do a video and then I'll turn the heater on and he can come sit while I clean up my room, because I have to organize something. But anyway, I'm talking to Mom Mint. I didn't take speed today, I swear to God. I didn't take anything today but my regular medicine. What was my point? I was heading somewhere. Okay, so you can use, okay, first let's do this. I'm so scatterbrained. Look at that neat background we're going to have to do something with. Okay, this is just printer paper, and I couldn't find my normal paper that I use, which is printer paper, but what you want to do, which I suggest you do, and sometimes I don't, and I could go back, I'm not going to bore you, but I could go back and show you in other journals where I've not done this. And, you know, sometimes, like, you can see when I put, like, the white paint on, you know, it goes on the outside, so it'll get on, like, your page prior. Sometimes I'll just, like, go in the middle of the book where there's nothing, and then if I'm being lazy, which sometimes I'm lazy, but, you know, keep 2 pieces with you, and put them, you know, so it doesn't get on the other pages, the back of these, or, you know, mess up any of the pages. And then when you're done and these are dry, you just put them in the back of your journal, and then the next time you go paint, you use it on your next page. And eventually, you know, if you keep kind of turning this way, that way, the other way, it'll be full of different colors of paints and that kind of thing. And then you can use it as a background on a canvas or on another journal page. Number 1. Number 2, a lot of people who use these, any type of journal, Now, I don't do this. Maybe I should. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll say, oh, maybe I will. I am a Donna Downey freak. I love her, and she uses masking tape in the middle of hers so hers don't fall apart. Every time I watch her, and I'm like, I have to start doing that. Do I? No, I don't. Do I suggest that you do? If you want to, sure. I've not had a problem with with my moleskins falling apart. I don't know what kind of journal she uses. So I still have every great intent to do it. However, I would do it now, and I was thinking about doing it this morning, except my husband took my masking tape for something that he needed, and then I don't know what he did with it. And then to ask him and go through all that, and then whatever, I'll just have to remember when I go upstairs to ask him where it's at. Because, they come in. Actually, I steal all his stuff. And then when he's looking for it, and then he takes it, and then it's like, who can like go up and say, hey, hon, how you doing? And like hide it behind their back and walk downstairs with it. So that's number one. Number two, whatever kind of paper you have works. So if you have your printer paper, which is all this is, fold it in half. If you don't have an art journal, and you don't have anything, any paper or like watercolor paper or anything that you have to work on, who cares? Take a piece of printer paper or, whatever kind of paper you have, construction paper, whatever, fold it in half. Look how fun. Same thing, and it's even a little bigger than what I got. And then paint your white paint on it. It'll give it a little bit more stability from when we paint, and or gesso, whatever you have. And you can still do it. It doesn't matter. Don't think that because, now look, see, before I put in my white paint, before I put in my paper, look what I did. Look what I did. I got my white in there because I wasn't, and then after I started noticing that, I thought, I better put paper there. But I'm always doing crazy, lazy stuff. I shouldn't even say crazy because it ain't crazy, it's stupid, but lazy stuff like that. So if you do the same thing as me, and that happens, you can just be like me and say, you know what, I was having a lazy day and I did not care. Although it takes 2 seconds. So, okay. White paint on my paper, dry. Okay. Now, I'm choosing black, and obviously it's white. I'm choosing black, and I told you I buy these. I do use a coupon, and I have these in small bottles too, but I buy the big 8 ounces of black and white. Because I go through black and white so much. Because you can also use black as a gesso too. I do happen to have a big squeeze bottle of black gesso as well as clear as well as white that I use coupons for. But if you don't, use your black, and you want to do a black background, use your black paint. Okay, so I got my white. And then I think my main color is going to be red. Now I accidentally, for some weird reason, picked up, and this is almost empty. It didn't really bother me, but I picked up a red. It's a magenta enamel from Plaid, which I love Plaid products. Folk art. It's magenta, and apparently I loved the color so much I picked it up and did not realize till I got home that it was enamel. Which all that means is it's like it can go on glass and ceramics, and it's glossy kind of. But I'm going to use this today just because. And something else, I got this at Joann's, and I think you get 3 or 4 in a thing for $2.99 in a baggie kind of thing. And what it is a squeeze bottle. And you don't have to use this, but it's very cheaply whatever, but it's good. And then you can write what you have on here. Because the other ones that you can buy have the nozzle that have the metal on it, which are really, really cool. And I have a couple of those, but they can be kind of more expensive. Like for $2.99, you get 3 or 4 of these or whatever in a thing, and they're great, and you can just rinse them out. So I was going to use this, but then I thought, if people don't have these, then this is going to kind of be a point of, what's the point of me doing this and showing you if you don't have that? So we will improvise. And I can't get the lid back on. And that's okay. We'll just put him over there. So what I thought we'd do is let's take a small brush and let's take, I made, like I said, I'll have to have a picture somewhere, but I'm going to shake my black paint up. And we're just going to go in and make designs. If you don't want to use paint and you want to use marker or a pen you know, to draw your designs first, or just to go in and paint, you know, do with that, you can. And all we're going to do is we're going to draw different designs. You can see my paint's a little still wet. And this is just one of those jelly rolls. They're very inexpensive and they're awesome. And my white paint had like, how you say, dried paint in there. So, but yeah, I'm not going to ruin my pen. So I'm just going to make sure you always like roll your pen around to get all the goop off if you're like me and you have no patience. Or you could use a Sharpie or a black marker. What's this? Here's a Bic Market Fine Point. And if my paint was all the way dry, it would be much easier to show you. But then you can just go in and draw your things and color it that way. Or you can just take your black paints, and I will use my palette today just because it'll be easier. Now, you squirt your black paint. If you want it to be thinner, if you want it to be more ink-like, just add a little bit of water to mix it. And pick like a smaller brush, like if you have a smaller brush. If you don't, use whatever you have. It's not going to really matter. I'll use a bigger brush to show you too. And I'm just going to mix this up, just kind of like a little bit of an ink consistency. Doesn't have to be as thin as ink, but because we're going to kind of draw with it. And just go and do shapes. Like we'll start here. And then we'll paint, and you can use a bigger brush, obviously, to paint in. And if you want it to be a little bit, the black to be a little darker, don't water it down as much. It doesn't matter. I'm going to say, right here, I'm going to draw a heart. And I'm not going to go anywhere near that heart. Like in there. I mean, I'll go on the outsides of it, but I'm not going to go inside. And like right here. And we're going to paint it. And I'm going to do a smaller and not as entailed version, so you get the idea. So I don't have you here all day because I talked a mile a minute. And like you see here with that, let's use a bigger brush to paint in so we don't keep you on watching the video forever. And that's why I said you can go in with your black marker and draw all your stuff and then go in and paint. It's whatever way you want to do it. And you could do it all with a black marker if you want. I don't exactly know what that is right there, but we're just going to pretend like it's something fancy. And then we can do like squiggles here. And you want to leave white showing through also, so we can go around like this. Over here, we can just kind of near. And of course, you're doing it, you would just be playing. I will show you what I did. I will have to put a picture up of I might even have it on my computer somewhere, of what I did with my daughter, because what I used was fabric paint, puffy fabric paint. And it came out really cool looking. And she has it hanging upstairs, so go over that. We can just do lines coming out. Like I said, this is fun with kids to do. And I'm not doing anything fancy here. Like I said, I would sit and think a little bit. But this is just playing. Like, you don't want to have to worry about, is there any other shape than the ones I'm doing? I'm wondering. There's a million shapes. What the heck am I doing? Oh, I know what else I wanted to tell you. You can also stamp. So I have I'm going to just blot my thing off. Let's say I have my stamp here that I still haven't put away that I've used before because I'm going to clean up today. And then let's say we stamp. So if you have stamps or you made stamps with your foam like I showed you, you don't have to stamp all of it. And now I have all this extra stampy stuff, so I'll just go onto this and stamp. And get all the paint off. Because remember, you don't need an ink pad to stamp. Just use your your paint. And I don't think I have any other. But I have a sponge. And I can go in there and put some paint. And just kind of make... And like I said, this is whatever you want to do. This isn't... I'm just trying to show you, give you the idea of how, you know, you can sit and draw and then go paint. I'm just kind of playing around. And again, fun to do with kids because they have such an imagination. Now, you do want more black than you want white around. So I'm going to take my smaller brush and I'm just going to kind of do dots around. And if you're using your pen, same thing. You know, it's just about having fun. We can kind of just add some designs. Over here. Now, if you really want to be fancy, you can go in between. Even though I did a white background, you can go in between and even make these whiter. Do you know what I mean? So you can really make it pop. But I'm obviously not going to do that. And then let's say we want some dots here. Because who doesn't love dots? You can outline your square if you want. Your squares from your sponge. You can use the other part of your sponge. And like do this little boopy thing here. And just kind of get a whole other texture. If you have more stamps, use those. Whatever you want. And the fun thing is, let's just say, we're like, oh, okay, very cool. So let me hit this with the heat gun for 1 second. I know, it's not very cool to look at right now, but you'll see. You'll get the point of it, so when you do it, you just doodle and just paint and do whatever. Just gonna real quick. Like I see this right here and it kind of looks like an eyeball to me. So I'm like, let me take a little bit of white, a little bit more white. And you don't have to, like I said, it's all in what you want to do, but I'm like, that's kind of like something I don't want to give up right there. So I'll just put a little bit more white to stick out. And if you have a white gel pen or marker or whatever, you can do that. And just give them a little boopy. And if you want to clean up your lines a little bit, like I said, it's not about that. It's really about just playing, you know? And like if you want to go in now and add some white on some of the black. Now's the time to do it. It just adds, you know, interest. And like I said, you could sit and play for hours and just keep adding. And if you want to do more than one color, be my guest. It's yours. But it's something that seems so silly and so ridiculous that I'm sitting here showing you this, but it does spark your creativity because, like, you start out and you're like, oh, and then you look at it and you're like, you know what would be cool? Some white dots on that. You know what would be cool? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, wonder if I did this over here. You know what I mean? It's like people with the doodling or Zentangles, whatever the hell they call them now. When I was growing up, they were just called doodles. But they have a name now, so. And they're very cool and they're fun to do. But, you know, it's like sitting and doing that. And you just sit and kind of do your own thing. And I'm just going to keep playing. And obviously my paint's a little bit still wet, so it's going to. But who cares? And then you can do little lines. And you're just lightening it up a little bit. And then I might use my gel pen for that. And like I said, so you're just playing. You're just doing your little thing. And then the fun part comes in. And like I said, you can add much more. If I have my painting on my computer, I'll add it to the end of this video so then y'all can really see. Oh, I didn't put any white there. What a bummer. Oh well. You know, like here, you know, if you want to add some whatever you want. If you're good at drawing something and you want to draw something, draw it. Like if you're fancy at drawing something, you know, fancy, then draw it. Draw it. I don't know what that is, but we'll just color that in. Look how fancy. Got a little fanciness there. A little fanciness over here. Who can beat some fanciness? All right, so you get the point. Not very well, but you get the point. So let me just wash off my brush real quick and show you the whole point of this. Like I said, if I had 6 hours, I am going to start doing live shows again, and then we can do these things together. And then it'll be much easier for people because I know sometimes people are like, you know, it's easier to sit down and do together. So now I'm going to take my magenta paint, and I would use red. I used red in my daughter's, but you can use whatever. And you can use whatever color combinations that you want. And then I'm just going to paint the heart. Is going to be the only bit of color on the page. And I always take from the cap. I have no idea. I shake it real good, and then I take my paint from the cap. Unless I squirt it on my palette, which is hardly ever, but because I was doing this, it was a bit easier. And again, I'm trying to speed it up just a bit so you don't have to. And this is glossy. Like I said, it's going to dry glossy. So understand if you're using a glossy paint, which I have no problem with, as it dries, it gets a little sticky as you go over it again. But if you don't have glossy paint and you want your painting at the end or your page or whatever to be glossy, all you have to do is cover it with a glossy Collage Podge, Mod Podge, Gel Medium, whatever you got. It's so funny that glossy dries much faster than matte to me. I don't know why. But see how we got going there? Oh, I hate wasting paint on my brush, but it's just going to move around the wet paint. Okay, so there we go. And you get the idea. Now, is this a class? Is this a wonderful, like, oh, wow, look, she really rocks. She did this fantastic. No, it's not, okay? I know. It's the point I'm trying to teach you. It's your brain you got to get into to do fanciness. But the point of what I was trying to explain is Pick two colors. Pick green and orange, or yellow and even black and pink. Or do it opposite. Do, you know, red, white, and then make the black the center, or whatever color is your favorite color. And then you can go in with, let's see, any black marker that you have. I always buy a package of Sharpies because they're permanent, and you can use them for so many things. But I mean, you can go in and then you can add some more, you know, look online and find little, you know, like doodles and stuff like that. But you can kind of like, see, like to me, this looks like kind of like a bee. So maybe I'll color this in black and then leave it black and white, because he has these cute little wings, and I'll make his wing a little bigger. And then I don't know what the heck that is, but maybe his little head's right here, and then I'll color that in, you know, or I'll paint it in, whatever I got going on, whatever's in my hand at the time. And then I could have put two white dots there for his little, see, we'll do little bee things. I mean, who would have thought that? You have a little bee. He's sticking his head up somebody's butt, whatever this is, but he's enjoying it. So I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you guys just sit and play. Break out of the creative funk, or just sit. If you're not having a good day pain-wise or otherwise, just sit and play. Because it's fun. It's fun being like acting like a little child in a sense. Well, not that this is child play in a sense, but it's like you don't have to really think. You just kind of go with the flow. I mean, look, I'm adding dots. Who would have thought? Me. Right now, when it came to my head, let's add dots. And these are smaller dots than I have. But you can just go crazy. And that's what it's about. It's about just enjoying yourself and doing it. And now you take these little papers out and you leave the white, you know, whatever you have on there dry for a few seconds. And you have this cute little thing. And like I said, I am going to try to look for, see if I have it on my computer, or go up and take a picture of it and try to add it to the end of the video. You know how good I am at editing and adding things. However, I will try. And, but you get the gist of it. So you have this great, you know what I mean? And it's in your art journal. You don't have to do big. If the two double page thing is too much for you to think about, just do one page. Just do the one page. And just have fun. Just have fun. And look, this is a one-eyed monster of some sort. He's saying hello. Have fun. Do it. Don't tell her her video is too long and that she talks too much, because she really doesn't care, because most people don't care. They like watching her videos. And if you don't like watching it, don't watch. That's what he's saying right there. And he's saying, do this because it's really fun. And then tag me on Facebook, or show me your pictures like you guys do, or email me, and just have fun and don't get hung up on all the details. So remember, art's supposed to be fun. Fun, fun, fun. And like I said, to sit and do this mindlessly, I mean, of course I'm doing it on video, and it's, you know, I'm trying to hurry up and all that kind of stuff. But to sit just in your own, put on music and in your own world and sit and play and do something creative like this, which is very creative. I mean, look, I got a bee or some kind of like weird animal. Like, who would have thought? You know, maybe the paint's dry. Maybe I can add eyes to it. Let's see. Look, he has little bee eyes. You really can't see it on there, but he has little bee eyes. So, you know, don't not create because you don't feel like it, or, you know, you want to do something, but you don't want to, you know, have to think too much about it. So just do this, have fun. And I hope you guys have a great day and enjoy this, and you guys do this and just have a blast doing it and play. So be kind to each other, because you never know what battle somebody else is fighting. And I will see you soon. Bye, guys.